I'm going to Salisbury, which is the twice-weekly city market, but it has a little row of farmers' stalls. And it's lovely. There's a really nice atmosphere between the traders. We all help each other. We shall all be holding down the canopies today because it's going to be really windy. It wasn't that long ago, was it? The farmers' markets were quite a rarity, and now people are looking out for them, or they're asking when the next one is, or where else we sell. So I think it is becoming a viable alternative for people to, when they go to a new town, find out when the farmers' market's on, rather than find out where Tesco's is.
Long Critchell Bakery started in 2000. The stables here were empty, so we were looking for a use for them. And what we found was that there was really no, what we considered sort of good bread around.
I think the state of bread people are eating today has gone downhill for the last 40 years. You don't need anything apart from flour, water, salt and yeast and time gives it good flavour and makes it healthier.
If you start to take shortcuts, then you really make something which can compromise your health. So we take a long time to make the bread. That means that the glutens and the yeasts can develop over a long term, which is really the way bread should be made in order for it to be a healthy product.
That's the mix of all the flours, straight in the mixer. That was refreshed yesterday afternoon and left for about 16 hours for the natural yeast to breed in there and get up to a level where we can make bread from it.
The hardest thing about establishing the bakery, I think, has been to win people over to the idea of the kind of bread that we're making. I think the kind of bread that we're making is so different from what people have become used to over the past decades that it's almost like a completely different product. People are suspicious of organic products too. It's not exclusively what we're about. That's important to us, that the ingredients are as good as they can be, that we're making a product which is both healthy and also a pleasure to eat. And that also we're using a source of fuel which is renewable. The wood comes from a wood lot on the estate, hardwood and softwood thinnings. So this is wood which might be turned to scrap, otherwise it might just sit in the forest floor. We've got some hardwood and some softwood here. We put the softwood in first to get the fire going, and then we build it up with hardwood, which gives you a slower, more intense burn. What you don't want are big smoldering logs in your fire, because that way you just get a draft of air going through and it takes away all the heat. Here at Long Critchell we're really lucky in that the property was an old rectory, and so part of the rectory, or the glebe of the rectory, was a walled garden, which is about half an acre. We restored the walled garden in about 1997. And that's been producing organic vegetables. And what we do more and more is we bring that into the bakery. So it means that we can use those vegetables to make savory things, to make sweet things, to really just build up our production, where we use local ingredients wherever possible, ingredients which are on our doorstep.
Just giving it a glass of steam before we put the bread in.
What does the steam do?
Steam just makes it humid in there so that the crust doesn't set too quickly, so it gives it a few more minutes just to be elastic and stretch, giving the loaf a bit more volume. So we just score the top of the loaves again to give them a bit more room to rise in the oven in the first few minutes. Just a nice decoration as well.
Well, the rewarding aspects of running it are to do with making a product which is delicious and healthy, reviving techniques which have been pretty much lost in the UK. Bread making is in a pretty bad way, I would say. It's getting better, but it's got a long way to go. The other rewarding aspect is really positive feedback from our customers.
I think the most important thing about this bakery for me is the fact that it's always open to new ideas. We're always trying to improve and perfect existing recipes and new recipes. And I think everyone involved is really passionate, so that gives us a good opportunity to make a really good product.